What going on, everybody? Back again with another episode of The Talk, episode number 7. Lucky number 7, like I said. We actually had a mishap just now. I wasn't recording. Well, I was recording from the cameras, but now recording from my system right over here. So, good thing we was only 2 minutes in, so we can go from there. But, like I said to you before, I didn't know you was that young. I actually thought you was older. And on stage show, well, typically anywhere, you have to be 18 in order to vote. But I see that you're very involved with politics. I wanted to know if that's something that you're going to step into once you get older.
So yes, I see myself actually being a politician on this island because I believe in helping people, and I also believe that the best way to help people would be sitting around a table and discussing in government.
Yeah.
That way we can bring along more change than we can in the community. Yes, you can make changes in the community, but without the government making those changes, who am I or who are we as the citizens to make those drastic changes?
That's true. That's true. And what particular party would you want to run when you do this?
So that is no question. The Democratic Party of St. Eustatius.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party has been a pillar in this election, and I believe it is a pity that we lost, but everything is for a reason.
Yeah.
And I believe that the morals and principles of the Democratic Party remain. And I also believe that we have some of the best candidates that there are out there, well educated and well qualified. So I do believe the Democratic Party is the party to move us forward.
But why not PLP or CDA?
So that's a funny question because the PLP party has no unity. And we can see that from the outside. We can also see that the PLP party has internal issues when it comes to the bashing. They have bashed many persons in the community. They have also bashed many persons on the Democratic Party. And I don't believe that bashing is the way to move our island forward.
And when you say bashing, because a big statement you said just now is that they don't have any unity. That's a big word to use. Why would you say that they don't have any unity amongst themselves?
So, for example, we see that last evening there was a quarrel between two members.
Okay.
And we also see that the former leader of the party sits and discusses nasty things about the present leader. And I do believe that unity is we all form one head.
Yeah.
We all say the same thing. We all speak the same thing.
Yeah.
And one person is on the radio on Sunday saying one thing.
Yeah.
And then here comes the former leader on Friday saying a total different thing.
Okay. And then why not, let me say, why not CDA?
Okay. CDA is a very good party, I would not lie to you. But the issue with CDA is they have a lot of young persons.
Okay.
A lot of persons who haven't been in the field before. And those persons are very outspoken.
Yeah.
I'm very outspoken as well.
I was just going to say that.
There are persons that are very outspoken, and I think that in my short years of life, as you said in the beginning, I have learned that there are certain things you say out in the public, and there are certain things that you restrain to yourself.
Yeah. And usually, we all going to go through the phase where you might say something, and then after you might notice, maybe it wasn't the right thing to say. How do you go about fixing that?
So like I say to people all the time, I stand by what I say, and I say by what I stand.
Yeah.
And I try my best to not say those things, but if it does happen, I think about the main purpose of why I said it, so that I can clarify my message rather than let it be out there plain and simple.
Okay. And like you mentioned before, unfortunately, DP didn't win the election. Do you think there was a specific reason as to why that didn't happen?
You see, I do believe, especially my religion, my Christianity,
Yeah.
that there is a God above and the Lord decides things for a reason. And sometimes that reason is for good, and sometimes the Lord does things to wake you up and to realize the mistakes that you have made.
Okay, that's understandable. But let me say, we know that PLP won the election. If you was given the opportunity to pick who goes where, so for example, who you think they should put in the Island Council, and who do you think they should make commissioners?
So I think my top pick would be to make Mercedes and Raquel my top picks. I believe that they are the voices, and they are the people, and they have won their seats. I believe that they should be in the council. I also would put Ernie in the council.
Okay.
I would put Raimi as a commissioner.
Yeah.
And I believe that Adelka has the capabilities to do commissioner work as well.
Okay, so then you would put, but then seeing in this specific situation that PLP has the majority.
Yes.
From the PLP party itself, how do you think they should arrange the
I do think that Richelin has a very important voice in this community.
Yeah, yeah.
She is a pillar to the party. And I believe that she does have a positive voice.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it has been said in council meetings many times that she is a leader, and I believe that she should have a seat. I also believe that Mr. Merkman should have a seat, but I also believe they need to put young persons.
Okay, okay.
Why I believe they need to put young persons? Because we see that the party is full of veterans, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And sometimes having a clear vision within the veterans is always good. So I do believe that between Von Sams should have a seat.
Yeah. And
yes, Von Sams.
Okay. And then for commissioners, how would you go about that one?
Wow, that's a big question. I do not think that anyone on the party is bad.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also do not think that based on former years that members of the party deserve commissioner seats like that.
Yeah.
Especially with all that happened throughout this campaign, I do not think that any of them are capable of carrying out such positions.
So you think that where we talk from commissioner's standpoint, then the commissioner's position should be more from the DP side?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say you are a person and you're going to run with DP. What would be the things that you would want to tackle?
So firstly, I want to tackle the education. I have been through this new system, and I can tell you that this new system is you learn as you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is not a bad system,
Yeah.
but for our type of Dutch that we are under, our Dutch superiors in Holland, I do believe that for students traveling to Holland, it's very unfair that you have to wait a year until you get your results. And when you do get these results too, you still have to wait to get these diplomas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's a very long setback. And I also believe that there are teachers who do not understand the system.
Yeah, yeah.
And just as students, they are learning as they go.
Yeah, yeah. So you think that maybe we should have stuck with the Dutch system, or you think the switch to the English system was a
So
good
I
thing?
think the switch to the English system is good. It offers more opportunities, of course, but I also believe that before switching, they should have been educated.
Yeah, yeah.
Properly educated.
Yeah, yeah. Which is I feel that is understandable. That's a good standpoint to have. But I could remember in the past, before you was someone that supported DB, you did at a certain point supported PLP.
Yes,
What
I did.
sparked that change?
So like I said, I was blind, but now I see. And I can say that I believe the bashing and the mixed information that was given to me is why I changed parties mainly. And it is because they have bashed many persons there to me who I believe have done nothing wrong, because there is no vital evidence against those persons. And I also believe that the evidence given to me by the party about things that are going on in government and on our island are not factual. They have been turned and twisted to make the Progressive Labour Party members look better than the rest.
So then let me say, okay, majority of the people voted for the PLP. When it comes around, what are things that you think that should be specifically changed from the DP standpoint in order to maybe get more votes?
So I think for starters, that the Democratic Party should reach out more to people. I think this campaign we have reached out the most compared to the former elections. And I can say that I am very proud of Team DP. And in order to get back our strength, because as they say in the article that was published from a concerned citizen, that this is the last stroke, the last survivors of the Democratic Party. And I want that to be known that it is not. Because we have many young persons that voted for the party and many young persons that will vote for the party in the future. And the way to get those persons to vote for us is to reach out more for the people. And I think one thing with station persons, they believe the lies over the truth.
Yeah.
And in order to clarify what is a lie and what is the truth, because there are a lot of persons that haven't voted because they were confused in between, they got stuck, they got lost, we must be there as pillars to pick them up, guide them.
How would you go about that, reaching out to the people?
So for starters, we see that you can go home to home.
Yeah.
There is community work that can be done. That doesn't even have to start around election time.
Yeah.
Election finish, you do community work.
Yeah.
You do station duty.
Yeah.
You reach out and you connect with the people.
Yeah.
Whether it is at a banquet, whether it is at cleaning a home, painting a home, you do stuff with the community, and you don't do it to get votes, but you do it because that is what the Democratic Party stands for. Helping people.
Okay. I totally understand. Let's fast forward. Let me say you're 18. And you wasn't a candidate, you wasn't running for election or anything like that. Who do you think, who on the Democratic Party would get your vote? If you're willing to mention that.
Wow. That's a very tough question to answer. Because I can say that before this election, Raquel has been there as a friend for me.
Yeah.
And I think that during this election, we have grown closer as friends.
Yeah.
But I also see Ernie and Adelka as very important persons.
Yeah.
Along with Remy.
Yeah.
And I also see that Mr. Woodley is a very important person. But I believe my vote would have gone to between Mercedes and Raquel.
Mercedes and Raquel. A few comments you made before that you know that as soon as persons watch this, they're gonna have people say back things to you.
Yes.
How do you, as yourself, deal with criticism?
I am they bracket me as the off-brand Mark Brantley. Premier Brantley has this way that when things are thrown at him, he throw them back, but in a diplomatic way.
Okay.
So I think I do the same, but I try my best to respond with positivity.
Okay.
Because as the Democratic Party always say, you go low, but I go high.
Yeah.
You walk out, and I walk in. So I always believe that I must never stoop to person's level. I must always be superior, and not superior because I am above them or anything, but I am superior because I believe in positivity and progress.
So you think that positivity is the way to respond to anything that comes towards you?
Yes.
And let's say you might have times that, you can't typically respond to positive. Oh, we get our emotions because not everything, certain things might hit you and you might be like, okay, it really bothered me. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. What would you think that PLP itself, seeing that you said that there's not that much unity and that they respond to things in a bashing way, what do you think are things that they need to change within themselves as a party?
So first, I think that they need to keep a team building. They must like each other to be on a party with each other. We see that there are members that are on the party only because they want to win. Because we know that the party has been the winning party for the past 11 years, and they are given 4 more years. And within those 4 years, you need to work together to better the island. And I think you need to sit and keep a meeting, a retreat, whatever, because the Democratic Party keeps a retreat. We always keep a retreat. And I am getting used to things at the Democratic Party because they do things totally different from the Progressive Labour Party. And I can say that the unity on that party is not because some of them are family, but it is because they have mutual respect for each other, especially your qualifications, your education. Like there are certain questions that comes in about healthcare that they direct to Raquel because she's in that field. There are certain questions about education or history that they direct to Remy because he's in that field. You know, so I believe you should have that mutual respect. And that is the way you can move forward.
Okay, that is true. Since we say that usually a lot of times you just try to respond to positivity, what are some positive things that the PLP do?
I said last week, and I stand by what I said, that the Progressive Labour Party has done good things for this island.
Yeah, yeah.
If I was to name them, I can't remember any at this moment, but I can say that yes, indeed, they have done good things.
Yeah.
One of the things that's good that they have done, I won't name anything. I would just say they have done good things, but they have done bad things as well. And I believe that one of the good things they have done is appointing Richelin as the leader.
Okay.
Because we see that females right now are dominating in everything.
Yeah.
The churches are filled with them.
Yeah.
The teaching is filled with them.
Yes.
The households,
Yeah.
the hospitals, everywhere you go is women dominating right now.
Yeah.
And I don't say that because the men are decreasing rather than increasing, but I say that because the women are out more.
Yeah.
Because remember before they didn't have rights, they didn't have this, they didn't have that. And now we see that because of their rights, they're out pushing, they're out doing things, they're out helping. And we see that that is something, especially in a changing world, a world that is, you can say, almost run by women everywhere.
Yeah.
That is a positive something. So
that's true. One thing I could give you is that you have a lot of hat, because it's two things that I just stay away from myself, because if you discuss politics or you discuss religion, usually people have different opinions, so I tend to stay away from it, because certain things don't go always the way that you have it planned. But I know that you're someone that is very religious. I saw recently, if I'm not mistaken, you can let me know if I'm wrong, I saw you went to St. Kitts.
Yes.
Tell me what that experience was like.
So, firstly, I went to St. Kitts for the Antioch Baptist Church's 60th anniversary.
Okay.
Congratulations to the Antioch Baptist Church.
Congratulations.
And they invited me to numerous occasions that they were keeping. Yeah. And I went to all of them, I believe, except two.
Okay.
And I can say it was a fruitful time. I also went to Nevis. I met with Her Excellency, the Governor General, Dame Marcella Liebert, GCMG, JP.
Okay.
She is a pillar. And coming back to what I said about women, she is the first female Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So that broke a barrier. And I believe that here we are breaking barriers as well. And St. Kitts has upgraded. I am proud of my Labour government. Especially I am proud of my cousin, the Deputy Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And I believe that St. Kitts is moving forward. So it was an amazing trip for me.
Do you see yourself becoming a pastor? Because I can remember that was the first time I actually saw like your name started to come up. I saw that when you were younger, you used to do little things like, for example, I think I saw, if I'm not mistaken, it was Alive when it was doing like something like a church. So is it something that you want to step into in the future?
So basically, like I said, I like people.
Yeah.
I do not know yet exactly what I want to study, and that is my issue because I do everything.
Yeah.
And I believe that communication is key.
Yeah.
So I think I want to also go into doing more of communication.
Okay.
So on international level, and I want to also focus mainly on English because I am very good in the English language.
Yeah.
And I try my best to learn other languages, but Dutch is very difficult.
Yeah.
Especially in an English system. So I believe that communication is one of the ways I want to go. But pastoring...
You don't think so?
No.
I could have swear I saw a post of you when you said that you hope in the future you could be a pastor.
Yes.
But it was just a post.
Things have changed compared to then.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, Self, what do you want to pursue later in life?
But like I said, my main goal right now is to study and become the next governor of St. Eustatius. So that is something that I am looking forward to. We know that governor is appointed and not placed there by any person on the island.
Yeah.
And I believe that with the qualifications that I do based on my studies, that I can achieve such.
I don't know how the procedure usually goes around governor. So let's say you are the governor. I know you talked about you want to step into education, but is there something else that you find very important?
I do not believe that the healthcare system is completely mashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that it is broken,
Yeah.
but it's not mashed.
Okay.
And like Mercedes said, it can be rebuilt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You do not kick out the entire system to start from scratch. You build upon a foundation that is already there.
Exactly.
And when you build, you secure that foundation first.
Yes.
Because you know that a rocky foundation cannot get you further.
Yeah.
And you build slowly but surely. And you build up the quality of the hospital.
Yeah,
You have to start with the quality, because we cannot build a new hospital and then have the same old quality, the same confusion that we've been having before. So we
That's
have
true.
to start with the nurses, start with the doctors.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to say that they have done a terrible job, but I believe that some has failed the people of this island.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say, as a person, if you had to describe yourself, how would you describe yourself?
Outspoken.
Outspoken. If you say outspoken, can you elaborate a little bit?
I say what's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to say it in a positive way. I am known as a clown because I make a lot of jokes. I love jokes because smiling keeps you young. It brings wrinkles to the side of your face, but it still keeps you young. And I believe that the best way to move forward with life is to always look at life positively. Look at life happy. Be always smiling, because Laurie said to me that when you greet a sick person, you don't go to them, I haven't seen you, what going on? You start with a smile. A smile goes a long way. So I'm saying to myself, and I say to everyone, that you smile when you wake up. You don't smile because you have pain. You smile because you're alive.
Exactly. I'll move things a little bit to a different section. What are your thoughts on mental health in general in the Caribbean?
I can say that mental health in certain countries is not taken seriously. Many persons are having depression. I see many persons that have anxiety. I see many persons that are going through happy phases. I see many persons that are mentally unstable, mentally challenged. And we know that in Statia, the mental health works very hard, trying their best. But they're a small team as well. And we also see that although they are trying their best, there are persons that do not speak up. Because one of the questions that you ask firstly when someone goes in with mental health, do you hear voices? And if I go in mental health and they ask me if I hearing voices, I ask them if they're crazy. What voices could I be hearing? You know, so sometimes the persons with the mental issues, they don't even take their issues seriously. And I think that is where the country, the region actually don't take mental health seriously. Because you as a person who has mental health, you need to take yourself serious. You hear voices, jump over the cliff, kill yourself. You listen, you go and you get help. You don't listen to the voices and act on what the voices are telling you. Unless they're telling you go to the casino and you win money. But you do not act upon those negative threats upon your life.
And what do you think can be done to change the misconception when it comes to mental health?
Well, we see that the Cancer Foundation goes out every October. We see that the Domestic Abuse Foundation goes out a lot. But do we see mental health going out, reaching to people? Do we see the Mental Health Institute going out and hosting a campaign? You know? My health matters, or my thoughts count too, and we don't see that. So what is the best way to bring along awareness about mental health? I think like I said before, reaching out to people is always the best option. And you reach out to people in mental health not because you want them to be aware of it, but you want them to know that if anything ever happens to them, you are there with them. You are there guiding them, and they are not alone. So I think that is the best way to reach out to people.
If you had to choose in your life 2 persons that you really look up to and that you could model yourself after, you look up to, and when you want advice, you go to them, what would those 2 people be? You only can pick 2.
You see, the last time you tell me I could have only picked 2, I end up with 13 godparents. So, let me see. Okay, let me start off. Lady Alida.
Okay. Why?
Lady Alida has this vibe about her.
Yeah.
And it is not based on her job, but it was before her job.
Yeah.
She has this way of telling it to you plain.
Okay.
And she builds me daily. She encourages me. And I think one of the things that must be said, because many persons don't see it, but she does it, she reprimands me a lot.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And that is something that she does daily.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you fall, you should have someone behind you to pick you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should have someone to guide you, to
Yes.
be with you.
Yeah.
And I think that she has done that for me.
Yeah. 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 Which is good. Which is really good to have. And if you have to pick a second person, who would that be?
So I believe that I will choose a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And this teacher would have to be Teacher Jamila.
Okay.
Teacher Jamila is a very important person in my life.
Yeah.
She taught me how to write.
Mm-hmm.
Teacher Oli are important too.
Yeah.
But I believe that Teacher Jamila has always been there, and she continues to be there. Even when she lived in Sabre,
Yeah. Yeah.
her constant love was felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that she's here, I see that she's motivating me. She's speaking with me. She's telling me, Ishn, do right,
Yeah.
do this,
Yeah.
do that. Better yourself. And I think that that is something that I need in my life, because we all need structure.
Exactly.
And structure is important to move forward.
Yeah. 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 A while ago, someone passed the road.
Mm-hmm.
They shouted something that I ain't gonna repeat. I ain't gonna repeat it at all. But what do you say to people that technically you would call that bullying? What would you say to persons like that?
So on Wednesday, I was on a radio program, and
Okay,
I said that bullying makes you become the bully.
Yeah.
And it is because you don't want to go through something alone.
Yeah.
And that touches back on mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're going through something, you don't want to reach out to people, but you want their support.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your best way is to pick on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see that, as the Bible says, when you are anointed and appointed, that there are persons within even your household that do not like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That because they say you don't have any honor in your own country.
Yeah.
And I see that daily, not only for myself, but for other persons.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when those things are targeted at me, I tend to ignore.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it, but I tend to ignore.
Yeah.
If I don't ignore, I simply post positivity.
Yeah.
I post a quote.
Yeah.
I post a saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even post a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the words from anything goes a long way.
Exactly. And you can that will never stop. But the only thing you can do is fight back with positivity. While we're here, is there anything that you would like to say to persons before we close off?
I believe that I would like to say, especially to the youngsters in the community, that you have value. Your opinion counts.
Yeah.
I see that throughout this election campaign, I was yelled at, screamed at, cursed out. And that is because persons believe I am underage. Why should I indulge in politics?
Yeah.
But I believe that as young persons, we have a say.
Yeah.
Whatever is discussed up in the higher power, it falls on us.
Yeah.
When the laws are made, we feel the effects too.
Yeah.
And sometimes as children, we feel it more
Yeah.
than the adults.
Yeah.
And I encourage each young person, let your voice be heard.
Mm-hmm.
I do not agree with the obscene language, but sometimes that is how some persons express themselves. I always tell persons I'm an open person. You speak to me, but we must have that mutual respect. So
Yeah.
I say to each young person, be outspoken, speak your mind, and as Article 7, I believe, page 13 of the rights book said, you have the right to an opinion, especially when it affects you.
Yeah.
So I believe that you should open your mouth and speak.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought up that point, because at the same time, persons might say to you that, hey, you ain't 18 yet, you're old enough. Why you're around this type of company? What you're doing in that type of environment? But at the same time, too, do you understand what they say from their point of view?
Technically, some persons have said it to me in a positive manner.
Yeah.
Because that they see me doing something else.
Yeah.
Rather than politics.
Yeah.
In St. Kitts, I was approached and a lady said to me, "You're that guy from Stacia."
Yeah.
And the lady said, "I want you to drop politics.
Yeah.
I don't want you to drop it because I'm telling you drop it. I want you to drop it because it gets nasty."
Yeah.
And the more nasty it becomes, the less your value gets.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that it can be said that I do believe that persons have said it in a positive manner, but there are some persons that have said it because, you're underage. You don't belong. And I want everyone to know that, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, that I was born here, I was raised here, I live here all my life, I help this community, and to see this community fail would break me into pieces. It would make me break down mentally, physically, and emotionally. And so I believe that building this island from the government, building this island from the community is very important. And in order to do so, the political arena is also important.
So for sure, you're going to be in the political arena.
Yes. Next election, I will be number 4 on the Democratic Party.
Okay. Number 2.
Number 4.
Just joking. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it because it was very also at the last moment. I really wanted to do something, but you're someone like I said, just like the lady said, she saw you. I see you a lot on social media. I'm not a person that comments and talks on everything, but I do watch and observe what's going on. So thank you for coming out. This is episode 7. I want everyone to share this video, like the video. Also, you can listen to you don't have to watch the video. You can listen to it on the Spotify too. Let's say you're working and you just want to listen to it in the background, you're cleaning, whatever. You can do so. Thanks again, Mr. Ishn Courtar, for coming out. And bless. See you in the next episode.